Hello guys, this is the third problem from Love Bubber DSA sheet, and in this problem you are said to find the kth smallest and kth largest element of an array. Okay, so now let's see the problem statement in more detail. Okay, so you will be given an array, okay, and you will be also given a number k. If you are asked to find the kth smallest element, then what you have to do, let's take an example. You are given this array, okay, and the value of k is 3, let's say. Okay, that means, and you are asked to find the kth smallest element. Okay, that means you have to find the third smallest element in this problem. Okay, so if we check in this array, then 3 is the smallest element, 4 is the second smallest element, and 7 is the third smallest element of that array. Okay, that's why you will give output of 7. Okay, let's take another example. This is another array, okay, and you are told to find the fourth smallest element of that array because the value of k is given 4 here. Okay, now let's search the fourth smallest element in the array. So you can see that 4 is the 3 is the smallest element in the array, 4 is the second smallest element in the array, 7 is the third smallest element in the array, and 10 is the fourth smallest element in the array. That's why you will give an output of 10. Okay, uh, the vice versa is also possible, that you can be asked to find the kth largest element. Okay, so for example, if you are given 3 and say asked to find the kth largest element from this array, okay, your output then should be, let's see, 20 is the first largest element of the array. Okay, 15 is the second largest element of the array, and 10 is the third largest element of the array, right? So if you are asked to find the kth largest element of the array and you are given the value of k 3, so from this array your output will be 10. Okay, because 10 is the third largest element in the array. Okay, similarly, if you are asked to find the if you are asked to find the fourth largest element from this array, okay, then your output would be, let's see, 20 is the largest, 15 is the second largest, okay, 10 is the third largest, and 7 is the fourth largest element of the array. Okay, then your output should be 7. Okay, so also said that you have to do this in order of n time, and also without using any auxiliary space. Okay, so think a while that how can you solve the problem, and after that you see our solution and our approach how we solve the problem. Okay, and later in this video we will also implement the code for you, so keep watching till the end.
So I have to find out kth maximum and kth minimum of an array within order of n time and without using any extra space. So let's see what kth maximum means. If I have some element of an array like this 5, 6, 7 and 10, if I arrange them in an decreasing order, that is 10, 7, 6 and 5, the element which is coming in the third place, it is my third maximum. So in the same way, if any element is coming in kth position in this array, then we will call that as kth maximum. Similarly, if we arrange the array in an increasing order, that is 5, 6, 7 and 10, and the element which is coming in the second place is my second minimum. 5 is the first minimum and 6 is my second minimum, 7 is my third minimum, 10 is my fourth minimum. So I have to find out the kth maximum and kth minimum of an array. So the k will be user input, k can be from 1 to n. Uh, Now we have understand the problem statement, and now comes the most interesting and most challenging part of the question. So it is very easy to say that if I have to find out the kth minimum, so I can, so if my elements are like this 5, 6, 10 and 7, we can say that if we arrange the element in an increasing order, that is 5, 6, 7 and 10, and if we have to find out the kth maximum, sorry, if we have to find out the kth minimum, then we will say the element in the k minus 1 index of this array will be the kth minimum, because my starting index is 0, so I have to find out the value of k index k minus 1. But if we have to sort the array in an increasing order, then I need order of n log n time. But in my problem there is a constraint that I have to find out the kth minimum within order of n time. So this is my challenge. So how to solve the problem in order of n time? If you are familiar with heap, then you will know that if I have a min heap uh, of n element, so if I have a min heap of n elements, that is the size of the heap is n, then we can say the root element of this min heap is the minimum one. Now we will see that how to find out the kth maximum using a min heap. So let's say our k is 3. That means I have to find out the third maximum. So just first create a heap of size k, that is size of 3. So I will take the first 3 value and create a min heap. That is, my min heap will be like this: 20, 40 and 30. We can clearly see that in this min heap 40 is the first maximum, 30 is the second maximum and 20 is my third maximum. So now from I have considered the array up to 30. Now let's see for the let's check for the other elements. So now I am seeing 10. 10 is not eligible for becoming any third maximum because it is less than my root element, that is 20. Now check for 25. 25 is greater than 20. So 25 is eligible to become a third maximum. So I will replace my 20 with 25. So I am putting here 25. Let's check that whether I am still getting a min heap or not. So my min heap will be like this: 25. I have replaced 20 with 25. This is 40 and this is 30. So still this is a min heap and 25 is my third maximum. So now I have considered the array up to this. Now I have again proceed and I am getting 50. So 50 is still greater than 25. Because it is greater than 25 and I am in search of maximum, kth maximum, so I will replace 25 with 50. Let's see whether I am still getting a min heap or not. So my now current heap is like this: 20, 50, 40 and 30. This is not a min heap. so 50 is greater than, so here 30 is less than 50 and 30 is also less than 40, so 50 will come at this place and 30 will come at root. So this is my mean heap after considering the whole array. So here I can clearly see that 50 is my first maximum, 40 is my second maximum and 30 is my third maximum. So what I did, in the first step I create a mean heap of size k. In our example k is 3, so I have built a mean heap of size 3. Then I have checking that whether the remaining elements are greater than my root or not. If my current element which I am seeing is greater than root, then I will replace it with root and I will check that still my mean heap is properly maintained or not. That is, I will heapify root. If you know, if you are familiar with heap, then you must know what heapify is. Then I will repeat the steps until I visit the whole array. So after visiting the whole array, the root element of my mean heap will definitely hold the kth minimum of my array. I think it is clear for you right now. So this is how I can find out the kth maximum. In the similar way, we can find out the kth minimum of an given array. So to find out the kth minimum of an array, we have to maintain a maxif. For kth maximum, we maintained a mean heap of size k. For kth minimum, we have to maintain a heap of size a max heap of size k. So let's see it with an proper example. Now we will see that how to find the kth minimum. To make our example simple and simple to understand, I am taking the value of k as 3. You can take any value of k which will be within 1 to n. So let's see how we can find out kth minimum, that is third minimum from the given array. So the array is this 20, 40, 30, 10, 5, 50 and 5. So first I am creating a max heap of size 3, that is I am at first I am considering these three values and I am creating a max heap like 40, 20 and 30. So now this is a max heap and here we can see that 20 is the first minimum, 30 is the second minimum and 40 is the third minimum. So I am now I am traversing through the array. So I am getting 10. So here our root is 40 and I am seeing and I am encountering an element that is less than the value of our root. So 10 is eligible to become because 10 is less than 40, so 10 is eligible to become a minimum. So I will replace the value of 40 by 10 and I will check that whether I am getting a max heap or not. So I am getting this heap right now 10, 20 and 30. This is not a max heap, so I will heapify on the root and I will get the max heap like this. I will get 30 on the top, I will get 20 and I will get 10. So here 10 is my first minimum, 20 is my second minimum, and 30 is my third minimum. Now I am looking at the array, that is I am getting an element 50. So 50 is greater than 30. So 50 is not eligible to become a minimum. So I am moving further. Now I am seeing an element 5. 5 is less than 30. So 5 is eligible to become a minimum. So I will replace the value of root by 5 and I will check whether still I am getting a maxif or not. So as you can see that this is not a maxif. To make it a maxif, the 20 will come at the top, then 5 will come left side, and 10 will be as it is. So now I have traveled entire the array and I am getting this maxif. So in this maxif 5 is the first minimum. That means in my entire array 5 is the first minimum, that is 5 is the smallest, then 10 is the second minimum, and 20 the element of my of the root of my heap of size k is my kth minimum. So this is my 20 is my third minimum. Now comes the most important part, that is they have told us in the question that our algorithm should be within order of n time. So and there should not we should not use any extra space. In our entire algorithm we didn't use any extra space, so this will be in order of this will be in constant time. But now we have to analyze our algorithm and see that whether it is within order of n or not. So to find out the kth maximum, or we can analyze it for kth minimum also, that's not a big issue. So to find out the kth maximum, we were creating a heap of size k using build heap. Using build heap function we can build a heap within order of k time, because we have the size of our heap is k, so we can construct it within order of k time, and we have still n minus k elements. For n minus k elements, for each element we will check it with the root element of our heap. So every time we check the root, we compare our element with the root. So there is a possibility that the current value which we have encountered and we have replaced with root, that new value will come at the leaf node. That means the number of comparison it will take, it will be the equal to the height of our tree. That means it will take maximum log k comparison, because the height of our height of our heap is log k. So for every n minus k element maximum we have to compare log k time. So the total time it will take, that is order of k plus, for each element, for each n minus k element we have to compare log k times. So this will be our total complexity. For worst case, if we consider k equal to n, then it will be order of n plus n minus n, and it will be log n. That means this will be order of n, this will be 0, so it will take order of n time. So to find out the kth maximum we need order of n time. Similarly, to find out the kth minimum also, we will take order of n time. So total time we will take, that is order of n plus order of n, that is also order of n. So we have fulfilled all the constant given in the problem. Now we will discuss that how to build a heap in order of n time. This is not a class of heap, so I will not go in detail, but I will show in a very simple way that how build heap method is actually work. So the algorithm is that we will start from the first non-leaf node, that is 60 is a leaf node, 30 is a leaf node, 20 is a leaf node, and 70 is a non-leaf node. So we will start from right side, and we will check from non-leaf node. So we will check that whether only this part is a mean heap or not. Here we want to form a mean heap. So we will check that whether only this part is a mean heap or not. So here we can clearly see that 70 is not less than 60. That means this is not a mean heap. So I will convert it into a mean heap. That means I will keep here 60 and I will put here 70. Then I will check for this node. 40 is greater than 20 and 30 both. So this is not a mean heap. To make it a mean heap, I will put the minimum element among the three elements in the root node. So I will put here 20 and I will put here 30. So our new heap will be like this. 50 will be at root, 20, 60, sorry, this will be 40, 40, 30 and 60. So the left subtree of 50 is a mean heap, and the right subtree of 50 is also a mean heap. Now I have to check that whether 50 is in its proper place or not. That means considering all the element whether this is a heap or not. But 50 is less 50 is, though it is less than 60, but 50 is greater than 20. So this is not a heap, not a mean heap. So I have to replace 50 by 20 and I have to keep 50 here, and I will check again. I have to check it recursively until we reach the leaf node. So 50 is greater than 40 and it is also greater than 30. So I will put here the minimum among these three nodes. So here the minimum is 30. So I will put here 30 and 50 will come here. So our mean heap is 20 and its left child will be 30, its right child will be 60, here 40 and 50. Thus we got our mean heap. This algorithm take order of n time to create a mean heap, but how it is taking order of n, this is not I am going to discuss now, because this is not a heap class. Now we will see that how can we write the code. I will not show you the exact code, but I will show that how can we write the code. So we have to start from the parent of a leaf node, from the rightmost parent of any leaf node. Here 10 is a leaf node, so I don't have to check for 10 because 10 itself is a mean heap. 20 is a leaf node, so 20 itself is a mean heap. Now I come to 30, that is at 1th index of our input array, and I have to check that whether this part this subtree of the heap is a mean heap or not. For that I have a make a comparison. After making a comparison here, then I have to come up to this level, and I have to check whether this node is in its proper position or not to create a mean heap. That means I have to run a loop from the rightmost non-leaf node up to 0 index or to the root node. So the for loop will be like this: for I equal to n minus 1 divided by 2 to 0th index. What means why I have write n minus 1 by 2? Because if 10 is my last node, then its parent will be present at 3 minus 1 divided by 2. That means 2 by 2, that means at 1th index. So this is a simple formula that we can mm, generate to calculate the parent of any node. So for every I have to call a heapify method. Heapify will ensure me that making ith index at a root index, I am getting a mean heap. Now we will see that how can we implement heapify function. Now let's see that how can we implement heapify function. We can implement heapify on any node only if its right and left subtree is already a mean heap. What does that mean? Suppose here I want to uh, call heapify on this node, on this root node. I can call heapify on this root node only if my left subtree and my right subtree is already a mean heap. Only then I can call a heapify function. So how can we call this heapify function? I am writing the function that heapify I want to call at index I. That means this will be my index I. If this index is I, that means the parent index is I, then the index of its left child will be 2 into I plus 1, and the index of its right child will be R equal to 2 into I plus 2. And then I have to ensure that R and left and its right child is within our heap. That means I have to check that if R is less than our size of heap. I am writing this condition to ensure that I will not go out of my range. If this condition is valid, then I will check that whether the index, the element which is at index I is already in its proper position or not. That means that whether I'm writing that if element at index I is less than its left child and also less than its right child, then I will say that the index at I is in its proper place to create a mean heap. So if this condition is true, I am simply returning that I am telling that my heap is my heap is already a mean heap. I don't need any modification. And if this is not, then I have to write a else condition. So let's see here. Here 50 is greater than 30 and 40 both. That means this is a mean heap, this is a mean heap, but the whole heap is not a mean heap. So what I have to do? I will find the minimum of these two, and I will, and here 30 is the minimum, So I have to put 30 at the root and I will keep 50 at the position of 30. That means I am writing a minimum. This minimum will tell me that which one of its left and right child, which one is minimum. So if the left child is less than right child, then I will assign the left index as minimum, otherwise I will assign right index as minimum. Then here this 30 is minimum, so my minimum will point to this node and I am swapping the value of 50 with this minimum. So I will write swap a of I with a minimum. Then 50 comes here, but still I have to check whether this subtree is a min heap or not. That means again recursively I have to call the heapify function on this node. This node is pointing by minimum variable, so I will call heapify again on minimum index. Thus we can implement our heapify function. We have created a min heap of we were finding the fourth maximum of our this array. For this, using build heap method, we have created a heap of this first 4 element, and this heap is like this. Now I have to move further and I have to check whether any element of this can be is eligible to become the fourth maximum or not, or whether any of these elements are eligible to become a part of this min heap or not. For this I have to move ahead, and for every element I will check with the compare with the root, and if this element is greater than this root element, then there is a chance that this element can be a part of this min heap. For this I have to write a for loop like this. I will start from I equal to k plus 1, that is from this index, and I will go up to n, and this is our root element. So I will check that if a of 0 is less than a of I, then I will replace our root with ith element, and after that I have a new element which is on for an example when I am checking for 50, 50 is greater than 10, so 50 comes here. Then I have to call a heapify on this position to ensure that all these all these elements are creating a min heap. So for this I have to call a heapify on root, that is 0th index. So thus we can implement our whole concept.
Now let's start the implementation of the code. As always, we will recommend you to try to implement the code by yourself first and then come and watch the tutorial. Okay, so let's start our implementation. At first, I will make an array of size of maximum size max, and I will take another two variable n and k. Okay, so at first I will tell the user to enter the size of the array, and I will take it and save it in n. After that I will tell the user to enter the elements of the array. Okay, uh, and I'll take the elements one by one from we're using a loop starting from 0 to n, and I will input it inside the array. Okay. Now we have to find the kth smallest or kth largest, right? So let's take the value of k from user. So tell the user to enter the value of k. Okay, great. Now save it inside k. Okay, we are done with all the inputs, right? So now let's start the real implementation. So at first we are going to make the code like this, so that it finds the kth minimum element or the kth smallest element from the array. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, that to find the kth smallest element from the array, first we have to make a max heap from the first three elements of the array, right? Sorry, the first k elements of the array. Okay, so to form a max heap from the first k element of the array, what we will do, we will make a function build heap. Okay, this will take the pointer of the array and size of the heap, and this function will make the heap for us. Okay, now after creating the heap, we will make another function get kth smallest, and this function will take the pointer of the array, size of the heap, and the size of the array. Okay, and this function will provide us the kth smallest element, so store it in a variable called kth smallest. Okay, so after this we are done with kth smallest element. Now just print that the kth smallest element is and this kth smallest. Okay, great. Let's put a space here. Yeah, so now let's try to implement the build heap function. Okay, the build heap function will return nothing, so void build void build heap. It will take the pointer of the array and the size of the array, the size of our heap, right? K. Okay, after that, inside this function, what we will do, inside this function we will apply heapify on all the parent node of our heap tree. Okay, the purpose of this build heap function is nothing, just to apply heapify on all the parent node of our heap tree, starting from the last parent node. Okay, so who are the parent node? Every non-leaf node in our tree is a parent node. Okay, so let's take an example. Inside this build heap function, let's say that we are given this array. Okay, this big array. Okay, and we are told to find the sixth smallest element from this array. Sixth smallest. Okay, sixth smallest element from this array. So at first we have to make a heap from the first six elements of this array, starting from this 0 index to index 5. Okay, this will be our heap. Okay, so I have created a heap tree corresponding to this. Okay, so this is the heap tree of the first six elements. Okay, so we have to convert this into a max heap. Okay, to convert this into a max heap, the build heap function has to apply heapify on all the parents of this tree. Okay, so who is the last parent of this tree? This 7 is the last parent of this tree, right? Okay, this 7 is the last parent of this tree. If you go more further, after 7 who comes? 9. Okay, if you check 9 in this tree, 9 is not a parent. Okay, this is a leaf. So 7 is the last parent of this tree. Okay, more specifically, 7 is the last non-leaf node of this tree. Okay, so what we have to do, we will have to apply Heapify on this node. After that, we will apply Heapify on this node, and after that, we will apply Heapify on this node. Okay, the purpose of the build heap function is just this much: apply Heapify on this node, apply Heapify on this node, and apply Heapify on this node. Okay, so let's make a loop. Okay, let's make a variable called parent index. Parent index equals to, we will start from, as we said, last non-leaf node. Okay, and we will go and we will stop when we reach at the top of this tree, right, at the root of this tree. More specifically, when the index will become 0. Okay, we will stop when the index will become 0. So we will start from the last non-leaf node and we will go until the parent index is greater than equals to 0, and each time we will decrement the parent index by 1. Okay, okay. So after this, we will apply Heapify on the parent index. Okay, so what we are doing, we are doing in this loop, we will applying Heapify function on each of the parents of our heap tree. Correct? So this Heapify function needs more two things, that the array, pointer of the array, and the size of our heap. Okay, now let's make this last non-leaf node. Okay, last non-leaf node function. So how can we calculate the last non-leaf node? We have the size of the heap, right? So if the size of the heap is k, then the last index of the heap will be k minus 1. Okay, so for example, here the size of the heap is 6, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6, total 6 elements. Okay, so the last index of the last element of the index of the last element of this heap is 5, because 4 is the last element in our heap, and here the index of the 4 is 5. Okay, here you can see. So the last index will be the size of the heap minus 1. Okay, so we are providing this last non-leaf node function the last index of our heap, that is size minus 1, size of the heap minus 1. This last non-leaf function will return an integer value, so return type is int, and it will take the last index of the heap. So after taking this, it will return index of the last non-leaf node. To get the formula of getting the last non-leaf node from the last index of the heap is like this, that we have to subtract 1 from the last index and divide it by 2. Okay, this is already discussed in the explanation before. Now let's make the Heapify function. So what does Heapify mean in simple words? In the context of max heap, that means if you are creating a max heap, then the meaning of Heapify for you is to compare the parent node with the children nodes. Okay, if the parent node is greater than all of its children, or both of its children, then the parent node is completely okay, and we have to do nothing with it. We have nothing to do with that parent node. Okay, but if any of the children of the parent node is greater than the parent node, then we have to replace, or we have to swap the parent and the children node. Okay, and if both of the children is greater than the parent, then we have to choose the largest children and then swap the children with the parent. Okay, so this discussion was done in explanation before. I'm just telling for refreshing your memory. Okay, so let's do what we said. So first we have to compare the parent node with its children, right? To get the value of the children, we have to know the index of the children first, right? So we have the index of the we have the index of the parent node, right? So from parent node, if we want to calculate the left children, then what we will have to do? So int left child is equals to 2 into parent index plus 1. So if we multiply the parent index by 2 and add 1 in it, we will get the index of the left child. Let's call it left child index. Okay, and to get the right child index, we have to multiply the parent index by 2 and add 2 in it. Okay, this is how we can get the right child index. Great. Now after this, uh, make another variable called largest index. Okay, this largest index will do something like this, that it will contain the index which has the largest value among the children and the parent. Okay, and let's initialize it with the index of the parent. Okay, so at first we are assuming that the value present in parent index is the largest value. Okay, now let's verify our assumption. Okay, but before that, let's check that the the left child index we have calculated and the right child index that we have calculated is within our range or not, that is less than k or not. Okay, so for the left child, we will first check if the left child index is less than k. Okay, if this is true, then this means that we are in our range. Okay, and we will also check if now the main checking comes. Okay, the value present in the largest index largest index is less than the value present in the left index or not. The value present in largest index is less than the value present in left child index. If this is true, that means the value of left child is greater than the value of the parent. So what we will do, we will just make the largest index left child index. Okay, we will assign the largest index as left child index. Nextly, we will check the same thing for the right child. So first check the right child index is within our range or not. Okay, and then we will check that the value present in the largest index is less than the value present in the right child index or not. Okay, if this is true, then what we will do, we will assign the largest index into the right child index. Okay, we will assign the largest index into right child index. Great. Doing this, if we check that the largest index is still equals to parent index, that means that the parent is larger from its children. Okay, so let's return from the function because we have nothing to do. As we said earlier, that if the value of the children is less than the parent in the context of max heap, we have to do nothing, so we are returning from the function. Okay, but what if this is not true? What we will do, we will swap the largest index, okay, the value present in largest index with the value present in parent index. Okay, but after this swap, we may have made some subtree a max heap, but it may also true that due to this swap, some subtree of our tree may lost their max heap property. Okay, let's see what I said by an example. Okay, so this is a heap, right? So at first our build heap function will be called, right? And this build heap function will apply heapify on this node first. Okay, on this node it will apply heapify. Okay, at first. because it is the last non-leaf node. Great. So now this hippify function will consider it as a parent and check this with its children that it is greater than all its children or not. Okay, so the children of this 9 is 8, so we can clearly see that 9 is greater than 8, so we can say that this part of our subtree is a max heap. Okay, so we have to do nothing with it, we will simply return back to our build if function. Okay, after returning back to build if function, the build if function will apply hippify on this node also. Okay, now if we apply hippify on this node, again this hippify function will check this value with its children. Okay, this parent with its children, and in this case it is also a max heap because the parent is greater than both of its children. Okay, so it will simply return back to build if function. Now after this build if function will apply hippify on this node. Okay, now see what will happen, that this node is smaller than both of its children, right? So as we said earlier, that if the parent is less than both of its children, then we will change the parent, or we will swap the parent with the greatest child or the largest child. Okay, so here this 9 is the largest child, right? This 9 is the largest child. Okay, so we will swap this 9 with this 1. Okay, so we will swap this 9 with this 1. So after swapping, this 9 will become 1 and this 1 will become 9. Okay, now we have successfully made this subtree a max heap. This subtree is max heap, right? Because the parent is 9 and it is greater than both of its children. Okay, so the swap has made this subtree successfully a max heap, but due to this swap, what happened, that this subtree has lost the property of max heap. Okay, so after applying swap on a subtree, okay, we have to, if we made any swaps, okay, we have to also apply hippify recursively on the largest index. Okay, so we have to apply hippify recursively on the largest index. Okay, so we can't stop after this swap, we have to apply hippify on this largest index. If we apply hippify on this largest index, what will happen, the hippify function will check this with its parent. Okay, this one is our largest index, so the hippify function will check this parent with its children. So you can clearly see that the children is greater than the parent, so it will swap this 1 with this 8. So this 8 will become 1 and this 1 will become 8. Okay, after that the hippify function will again be recursively called on this node, but as it is a leaf node, the recursive call will return and get back to the build if function. Okay, so we can stop after this swap, we have to call hippify on the largest node. Okay, sorry, the largest index. Okay, so let's give the hippify function the all necessary things it need. Okay, great. So we are complete with our hippify function now. So here comes the last step of our code. Okay, the last step will be to create this kth smallest function. Okay, so to create so we have to create this kth smallest function which will return us the kth smallest element from the given array. Okay, so let's create it. The return type is integer, get kth smallest it will take the pointer of the array, it will also take the k, and it will also take the size of the array. Okay, k is the size of the heap. Okay, now because we have created a heap up to 0 to k minus 1 index. Okay, we have created a heap from 0 to k minus 1 index. Okay, so inside this function, what we will do, starting from the kth index of our array up to the size of the array, what we will do, we will check that the maximum value inside our heap, which is the 0th element of the array. Why? Because it is a max heap, and the topmost element will be the maximum element of our heap. Okay, so we will check that the maximum element of our heap is greater than the ARR of I or not. Okay, ARR of I is starting from the k and it is going up to the last index of our array. Okay, so if this is true, what we will do, if this is true, there is a possibility that this ARR of I is the kth smallest element. There is a possibility. Okay, so what we will do, we will swap this ARR of 0 with ARR of I. Okay, we will swap this ARR of 0 with ARR of I. Now we have put this ARR of I as the root of our heap. Okay, so by doing this, there is a possibility that our max heap is no more a max heap, because to make our max heap, to make the heap max heap again, we are going to apply heapify on the 0th index. Okay, or in that index where the swapping is done. Okay, so this heap function additionally needs the array and the k, which is the size of the heap. Okay, after completion of this loop, value present in the top of our array or the top of our heap that we have created will be the kth smallest element. Okay, so what is the top of our array or the top of our heap? That is ARR of 0. Okay, so after completion of this loop, this ARR of 0 will be the kth smallest element of our array. Okay, so return it. Okay, now let's build this code. Oh great, no error. Now run this code. Let's zoom it a little bit so that you can see it clearly. Okay, probably this is clearly visible now. Now let's consider the size of the array is 8. Okay, the elements are 9, 8, 2, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay, is it 8 elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we are looking for the fifth largest element of this array. Okay, sorry, fifth smallest element of this array. So it is saying that the fifth smallest element is 6. Okay, now let's verify that it is saying true or not. So 1 is the first smallest, 2 is the second smallest, 3 is the third smallest, 4 is the fourth smallest, and 6 is the fifth smallest. Okay, so let's check another example. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit for you. Okay, great. This time I'm going to give this 5 elements. Okay, let's say 4, 2, 1, 3, 5. Okay, these are 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so and we are looking for the second smallest element. Okay, so it is giving us 2. Is it right? Yes, 1 is the first smallest element, 2 is the second smallest element. Okay, so far we are done with our implementation to find the kth smallest element. Okay, now I will show you how to change the code to get the kth largest element. So now we are going to implement the function to get the kth maximum element, right? So as we earlier, as we made the function to get the kth smallest element, okay, so for that we had created a max heap of first k elements, right? So to find the kth maximum element, we have to create a mean heap of first k elements of our array. Okay, so our heapify function so far was converting the heap into a max heap, right? This heapify function was responsible to convert our heap into a max heap. Okay, so we have to make some changes in this heapify function so that it converts the heap into mean heap. Okay, and surprisingly this is very easy. So if we just revert this comparison, okay, we just revert this comparison and we are done. Okay, now this heapify function will create a mean heap for us. After creating our array, our first k index of our array into a mean heap, what we will have to do? We have to make a change in this function. Instead of checking arr of 0 is greater than arr of I or not, we have to check arr of 0 is less than arr of I or not. Okay, so just changing these three things, our code is configured to find the kth largest element instead of kth smallest elements. Now let's verify that. So compile the code and run it. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, let's say we are giving 8 elements. Okay, the elements are 1, 11, 7, 9, 5, 2, 4. Am I done with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and let's say 10. Okay, and we want the second largest. So from here we can see that 11 is the largest and 10 is the second largest of our array. So this code should return 10, and yes, it has returned 10 for us. Okay, let's check another example. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, so this time I am going to give 9 elements. Okay, 4, 5, 1, 11, 13, 15, 17, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and one more thing, let's say 0. Okay, and I am going to find the let's say third largest. Okay, so from here we can see 17 is the largest, 15 is the second largest, and 13 is the third largest, right? So our code has returned 13. That means the code is working totally fine. This is how you can create a code that finds the kth largest element. Okay,